Hi, I'm Jason. Welcome to the Slippery Slope. So today I'm going to discuss something which came up on my newsfeed a couple of days ago, and it's actually a story that I'd heard, that I'd been reading about and listening to for quite a while, and I really, to be honest, I wasn't sure whether it was reality, whether it was people exaggerating, whether other researchers, other people discussing it really knew what they were talking about. And so the topic that I'm going to talk about from this news article is what's commonly known as Chimera. So this article came up and it's from Microsoft News, and it's actually discussing an article from another resource, the Daily Digest. So I'll read the headline from this article. It's "Why did scientists make a creature that's half ape, half man?" So when you start mixing the DNA for different creatures together, that's what's referred to, and making something else, that's what's referred to as a chimera. So I'm just going to read through the article and discuss a few points, highlight what I think are some massive issues. Anyway, so it says, "This is not science fiction but real news. A scientific team from the Californian Salk Institute," so that's SALK, the Salk Institute for Biological Studies, working in China with private donations, has created a living organism that is a mixture of human and monkey. The embryo, so it's been created in a Chinese laboratory. The organism has genetic characteristics that result from hybridizing monkey and human. It is a further step in what some media have dubbed Project Chimera. Now, it's been dubbed Project Chimera because Chimera is actually an old, well, actually it explains it here. The chimera is a mythological beast that mixes two types of animal. The scientific project may raise ethical doubts, but has medical objectives that could save many lives. I love it when, the scientific project may raise ethical doubts. Well, of course it's going to raise ethical doubts. You're mixing men and monkeys, the DNA. But, there's always a but. There's always an excuse for why they're doing these crazy experiments, these so-called experts. But it has medical objectives that could save many lives. Okay. Way to justify. So the objective is to create organs for transplantation. So it all started with stem cells created in the laboratory. Now scholars are going further. At the Salk Institute, they are studying the evolution of a living organism in which human organs can exist in a hybrid environment. In this case, it's monkey-human. Now, once such a process is set in motion, one may somehow be able to create organs for transplantation in a laboratory. So this is the whole reasoning behind it. They want to be able to, this is what they're telling us, they want to be able to create organs for transplant. Okay, so they've already mixed rats and mice. So the Salk Institute studies to create hybrids have worked between rats and mice. The aim was to get as close as possible to 50% of cells from one species and 50% from the other. With rodents, it can be achieved. So they're saying that they want 50-50. So it seems like they want 50% human, 50% monkey. I'm not sure what you're going to get out of this. So they failed to mix human and pig. So in 2017, a mixed pig-human embryo was created, but the results were not good. Pig cells prevailed massively. Barely 1 in 10,000 cells was human. So the rest, I assume, were pig. Yuck. So because of the similarities to humans, the genetic proximity between monkeys and humans has convinced the Salk Institute scientific team that the hybridization they have achieved in the Chimera project may be viable. Wow, okay. So scientists deny that this is about creating living beings that function as organ factories. So it's already in their mind that they're creating these creatures and they'll be used as a factory. It's already been put out there, but they're denying it. So obviously we have to believe them if they deny it. I mean, anyway, they claim that this research process could lead to the discovery of a solution to organ procurement without cruel or abhorrent practices. Oh my goodness. In fact, for ethical reasons, the embryo created from a monkey-human mix will be destroyed when it reaches 14 weeks. This is the moment when, according to scientists, nerve connections and other complex elements of a living being are created. So let me get this right. It's for ethical reasons. So they've already justified creating these half human, half monkey beings. They've already tried it on pigs. They've already mixed up mice and rats. They're trying to get it, but for ethical reasons, we got to draw the line at 14 weeks. And the monkey-human mix will be destroyed when it reaches 14 weeks. I'd love to know who's overseeing this destruction of these hybrids. I mean, well, we'll make 1,000 of these, and yes, so someone's overseeing the whole lot, and then someone above him says, oh, maybe we should just keep 20% till 20 weeks and we won't tell anyone. And then someone else says, oh, maybe, we could secretly keep another 10%. We'll just keep them till about 40 weeks and see how that works out. And then someone else says, you know what, it's working so well, no one else knows about it because it's all secret. Well, then we'll just keep it full term. Let's just see how it goes. No one will even know. We're in China. Doesn't matter. Who makes the decision? And we're just supposed to, as usual, as the media constantly tells us, trust the science. Trust the scientists. Apparently, they're the most trustworthy people in the world. That's why they're making half men, half monkeys. I don't know. Keep going. So, this part of the story, it just blows my mind. It's titled, Rethink Our Moral Standards. Whenever someone says, Jason, you should rethink your moral standards. They're way too high. I start thinking, I think we're on the wrong track. So it says here, however, Juan Carlos, I can't say this last name, is Pizua. Sorry, it's Spanish. I'm sorry for any Spanish people. I've just butchered this name. A Spanish scientist. Okay, we should always trust a Spanish scientist who is part of the team that created the monkey-human mix, believes that ethical standards may need to be rethought. So instead of thinking, maybe our ethical standards, maybe our moral standards, maybe they're trying to tell us something and this is the wrong track, the scientists, the people who we're supposed to trust with everything, apparently, they're telling us, no, don't rethink the studies that we're doing. Don't rethink the track that we're going down and tell us that we're on the wrong track. Rethink your own moral standards. You're the one that needs to rethink the moral standards. It's not the scientists who are going down this weird and twisted track. It's the rest of humanity. They need to rethink their moral standards. History shows us that over time our moral standards mutate, like our DNA, he told El País. It happened, for example, with in vitro fertilization. So this one Carlos is telling us. So rethink our moral standards. Of course, this all comes down to the anticipated future of the Island of Dr Moreau. Remember that novel? The British novelist H.G. Wells. He wrote he's written a few books that have come out that look like they're actually becoming true. He's anticipated this moral debate about the ethical limits of science in The Island of Dr Moreau, a novel in which he imagined experiments that succeeded in mixing animal species. Well, there you go. The resulting, this was now just for your information, Wells actually lived from 1866 to 1946. So written well before, so a long time ago. The resulting hybrids were then enslaved by a mad scientist. The novel has had several film adaptations. There you go. All you need is one mad scientist, and we're on the track to Planet of the Apes. So now China is the place for experimentation. Don't we know it? That's why we're living with COVID-19. God bless their cotton socks. China is the scene of experiments such as the Chimera project. The United States and Europe are much more restrictive, although governments are beginning to open up to accepting some research of this type. For the time being, however, it's the Chinese laboratories that attract scientists from all over the world with interest in this type of work. So tell me, what's the point in having restrictions in the government if you can just go to China and do whatever the heck you want anyway? I mean, yeah, it's 2021. Don't worry about that little COVID incident in 2019 that, is still affecting the whole world. Anyway. So, the creation of a human monkey embryo is on the borderline of science fiction. It's not really on the borderline because it's happening, but it is pure reality. We have to consider how it develops and what benefits it can bring to humanity. So, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, okay? Just think of what benefits may. What are the benefits? Overlook anything else. Don't worry about any moral standards. Don't worry about, where it could possibly go wrong. Forget all of that. There might be one or two possible benefits. Now, just because I wanted to make sure, okay, you can go and look it up. There was also another article. This came out in the 16th of April, 2021. So still this year on nature.com. It's it's about the same thing, so it's titled First Monkey Human Embryos Reignite Debate Over Hybrid Animals. And it's the same thing. The chimera lived up to 19 days in this article, but some scientists questioned the need for such research. Now, so like I said, I was just doing a little bit of research, making sure and what really bothers me is when this starts to come out on just regular news, you know very well they are probably way ahead of the research they're telling us. If it comes out on just general news, in general news articles, they're probably way ahead of this, what they're actually telling us. It would not surprise me at all. What is it? It's the 31st of August 2021. Sometime in 2023, someone will come out and say, oh, we actually did create a half monkey, half human, and we, brought the embryo opened it up until birth, and we just saw what happened, and it's kind of living in the lab now. Still, it's 1 year old. Just had to celebrate its first birthday, and they'll tell us about it 2 years later. Seriously, people, can we trust the scientists? I don't know. I thought all this stuff was I thought it was people exaggerating. So, to reiterate, we should trust the scientists. We should trust research done in China. Just because we have all these standards in America and Europe, in Australia, wherever you are, that's all good. We should fight for that, but it doesn't really matter because anyone can go to China and do whatever they want anyway. And most importantly, human beings need to rethink their moral standards and lower them so that scientists can do whatever the heck they want. If anyone else thinks this is a slippery slope for humanity, seriously, or is this just my opinion? Thank you for listening. I think these are crazy times. I'm out.